The number of people confirmed with the coronavirus in Albania is now up to 38 cases. An official order from the government prohibiting attendance to the Tirana and Shkodra lakes is now coming into effect. Dita Veres, or the pagan holiday heralding the birth of life, called Summer Day, shows a sign the lack thereof. It's 6 o'clock on Saturday, the 14th of March, 2020. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to the English edition of Ora News. My name is Christopher, bringing you the only update of the local Albanian news translated into English. The number of people confirmed with the coronavirus in Albania is now up to 38 persons. At least 5 new cases have been confirmed positive with the COVID-19 virus in the last 24 hours in our country, reported PHI Director Albana Fico, after saying that 505 suspected cases were tested. To date, 505 suspected cases have been tested and confirmed positive with COVID-19. 38 cases from, 22 cases in Durrës, 22 cases rather in Tirana, 5 in Durrës, 2 in Lushnja, 2 in Elbasan, and 2 with maternity cases. Tirana remains the most infected, while the Ministry of Health says 12 people are hospitalized with infectious diseases hospital, while 2 are in the intensive care unit. 12 are hospital in the infectious hospital in Durrës, Fier, Lushnja, and Rogozina. 2 of them are in intensive care, a 66-year-old man from Lushnja and a 61-year-old man from Fier, while the rest of the patients are in stable condition until this moment. I want to urge all citizens once again to respect the new rules and to stay home. Live as much rich as possible. The number of drivers driving around is punished with administrative penalties for failing to comply with the order to ban motor vehicle traffic in the cities of Tirana, Durrës, Fier, Vlora, Elbasan, Lezhë, and Shkodra. Meanwhile, there were those who turned out to be drunk or violently opposed police officers. 5 drivers were arrested in Tirana, Lushnja, Fier, and Vlora, and Elbasan, who were driving in the street in violation of order and in a drunken state, as well as a driver in Shkodra for violently opposing a public police officer. 3 drivers in Shkodra are being prosecuted for disobeying a police officer's orders. 93 drivers were blocked from their cars and escorted to police stations after they opposed the police officers for administrative measures for breaking the order to stop the traffic. Police service continue to monitor in urban and interurban roads for the implementation of additional measures to prevent the circulation of vehicles in order to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 virus. The state police once again appeals to all drivers to respect traffic restrictions in order to prevent the spread of the virus, as they would otherwise face escalating legal sanctions under the norms set out in the road code. The order prohibiting the attendance of the Tirana Lake comes into force. A police patrol is stationed there and stops citizens from entering. Although not abundant, the presence of citizens who frequent the lakefront area at the time of curfew has been noted as necessary measures to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Prime Minister Edi Rama today, via video message, announced another austerity measure aimed at stopping the Lake District in Tirana and recreation areas and cities that are on armored perimeter. Shortly afterwards, it was noticed that police patrols were stationed at the lake. The weather is sunny, but it does not mean to go out as it did yesterday from Lake Tirana, where there were people, but not enough to violate individual protective rules. Every hour is critical to strengthening the lines of individual and collective defense. Prime Minister Edi Rama calls on citizens to be patient, and those who do not abide by the rules must stay at home now because we are in a real war that has just begun. Rama warned that in the next 2 weeks there will be an increase in the number of affected but the measures will help to keep this number as low as possible. So far, 38 cases of the coronavirus have been reported, 2 of which are in intensive care. Dita Veres, or the pagan holiday called Summer Day, is completely different in the time that we are living, the time of the COVID coronavirus. We bring in you observation. Summer Day in Elbasan, the city of balloons, flowers, carnivals, fairs, the capital city of the holiday, today, like never before, has woken up desolate. The streets are quiet with no moving citizens whatsoever. Some have put on a mask and most of the population stays home, thus avoiding the possibility of getting infected with the coronavirus. As of today, Elbasan is officially in the red zone in those cities where everything is stopped as you have had just pressed a button. In the fact, this button was pressed by the coronavirus, dispelling uncertainty, fear, and above all, testing us in the face of the unknown. This is the situation in Elbasan, what today should be the centerpiece of the Summer Day celebrations, essentially a pagan holiday heralding the birth of life. In fact, the situation is in the face of an virus which seems totally grim. In Vlora, like Elbasan, the seaside town remains silent. The streets are empty. People have chosen to stay home. Few have decided to go out or break the law. It is mainly those who need to be protected, those over 50 years of age who have taken to the streets challenging the virus. However, Vlora, without officially announcing the curfew, began to apply the rules of protection against the coronavirus, not coming out of the way from yesterday. In Fier, Luzhny, Korch, and Pogradets, it's the same situation. People stay at home, businesses have downsized, few citizens have chosen to go out, some for a walk, others for shopping, but the number remains small. There are small moving vehicles as service units continue to disinfect the cities to reduce the risk of the coronavirus infection. Awareness is maximal, though some individuals have chosen to disobey the advice of staying home. There were 10 suspected cases of the coronavirus in Vlora. The news was confirmed by the Vlora prefect, by Flamur Mamai. He stated that their analyses were sent to the Institute of Public Health, where 8 cases were found to be negative. Analyses responses are expected for the other 2 cases. As you can see, all measures have been taken to prevent and keep control of the whole situation in the whole territory of the region, and not only in the municipality of Vlora. We are working with the health inspectorate, also with the healthcare operator, with all municipalities, with the municipal police, and anyone else to close down the premises, restaurants, and service units that are causing the crowding. So far, it turns out the order of the Ministry of Health has been implemented, and that we all have the monitoring we are doing in the field in cooperation with the health structures and municipalities, so that there are no cases of other gatherings. What is positive to say is that yesterday there were 8 samples which were sent and turned out negative. 2 tests were sent out yesterday, and the answer is expected to come back today. We hope that as a country we will not be affected by this tragedy. In terms of activities, fines have begun to be imposed because of the order of the Ministry of Health has been enforced for 2 days, and we are making every effort to find not only the understanding of all this, but to also implement the decisions taken. We are on the ground to coordinate the measures. I urge the service units to take it seriously and become supported in order to avoid crowding, Mamai said. That's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Ora News, thank you and good night.